Oh, I forgot to put up my status screen at the beginning. I just went right to the work screen. That's crazy. Okay, here's my status screen. Here's my work screen. Oh wait, no, go to my head screen. I'm just all out of sorts today. It's like I don't even know what I'm doing. Hey, everybody, my name is Eric. I'm making a game. That game is called The Godkiller. And I'm getting a little bit excited. I know it's going to be a while before I get this thing released, but like the risky things, the things I would worry about, they're all disappearing. And what remains are more straightforward tasks that I have a lot of confidence I'll be able to get done without a lot of surprises, a lot of unwanted detours or sudden bits of effort that I have to push into this thing to make it go forward. I'm sure there's going to be some of that stuff coming up, but there's less and less of these things. It's getting to be very low risk. Toying with the idea of just doing self-publishing. I'm not as enamored with the idea of hooking up with a publisher these days because it feels like I got it in hand. I got some money in the bank to pay contractors for a few things, and there's time for me to finish other things. I don't need to necessarily pay people to do everything. The worst thing might be marketing, because I've never been good at marketing. But there's other kinds of companies besides publishers that do marketing support. There's also the possibility of kind of setting up my own marketing department is a real pretentious word, but some kind of partnership between someone who does all the kind of the posting to different places and updating pages and maintaining copy and things like that. And then you hire like a consultant type person every once in a while to just sort of tweak your campaign a little bit to figure out like, how do I want to spend my money with this other person who's doing all the work of managing campaigns, not managing campaigns, but like executing campaigns. So it might be just a simple thing. This one thing that I know I'm not good at, where I just get a consultant plus someone kind of on the entry-level side of marketing and go from there. So I don't know. I'm playing with some different ideas there. I do like the idea of just not having to be beholden to the terms of an agreement with a publisher. So, yeah, I don't know. That's maybe the last ambiguous thing I've got left to worry about. Everything else is just do the work. It will get released. Let's demo recent progress. I just did a pretty simple thing last night. Blinking. And I have the code set up so that the face is always up. Normally the face will only be up while the character's talking. So the face is floating up above the actual character. The character that you control. And I just made a blinking algorithm. It was already a thing where I could render the lids at different heights. And I just needed to add something that would randomly make them go up and down. Tweaked with it a little bit to get it to seem more natural, but it works. It's done. That's pretty easy. I got some kind of, not a cold, but mild allergic irritation or something like that. Probably just need to dust. That's the thing, I don't do very much dusting in my house. Things get dirty, even though I didn't put anything dirty on them. There's just dust being generated. All right. So in today's session, I want to go a little bit further with the face animation. I had a really nice moment of clarity. And it came to me by way of doing some other work that wasn't part of the problem I was trying to address. So the thing I was trying to figure out was, what's a good way to author changes of emotion in the faces? When I say author, I mean you specify that at certain points in time the emotion depicted on the face would change to something else. And initially I was thinking, okay, it'll be part of this tool that I have that I'm already using to author the lip movements so that they match with the audio, and I could just insert the events in there. That's what I did previously. Then I realized that one of the main reasons why I thought that authoring tool was necessary was because I might want to have an emotion change that would be in the middle of a line. So if you've got a line that's like, I forgot what I came here for. Oh, the treasure. Okay? So at the beginning of the line, the emotion is confused. I forgot what I came here for. And then maybe happy. Oh, the treasure. You know? So if it's important to capture that timing in the middle of the line, then you need some kind of authoring environment where you can specify, you know, at 0.7, 0.2 seconds into the clip of speech, we're going to change the emotion from confused to happy. But here's where I say working on another problem allowed me to get more clarity on the solution for this. So when I worked on subtitles, and I did some research on it, and the research was around what people expected and wanted in subtitles in games. One of the things that was pretty uncontroversial was make the lines short, like less than 40 characters long, so that it's easy to read them in a quick glance instead of scanning left to right. It's the same principle that speed reading books teach you, is you know, get the text in a close width so you don't have to scan left to right. Or if you must have, you know, the non-ideal width, then you want to try to sort of sit back away from the page a little bit so that your eyes can try to pick up the whole line at once. But there is like an optimum width for just reading text quickly where you don't have to scan left to right, or right to left, I guess, if you're doing some Arabic text. Anyway, so if I already have to chop up all these lines into short bits, then that means I don't need to put emotions in the middle of lines, because I can just specify that one line has an emotion associated with the beginning of it. And I've already written that code. So that makes my job a lot easier. Now, the one thing I think I'm still missing in my ability to specify what, there's a couple things I'm missing. In my ability to specify how these faces should be portrayed while they're speaking, the eyelid level. So I've got blinking now, but there's like a general eyelid level. So if I have my face exactly the same except my lids are wider open, it conveys different emotions. So say I'm smiling like this. Just kind of a normal smile, maybe just slightly creepy because I don't really, there's an air of inauthenticity to it. Okay, there's like that. Then there's, maybe I'll try to do my face exactly the same except my eyes will be much wider open. Yeah, and super creepy in that second one. I should never smile like that ever. But there's a large difference in between the two. Like, you could say that someone who had that smile with eyes very wide open, they were actually afraid, you know, maybe trying to portray some positive emotion but not succeeding. You could say that's desperation, perhaps. Similarly, if you just squint, I think we can agree that all my smiles are creepy, but there's a slight difference between and maybe a large difference between that and, right? So every single emotion that your face might convey can be modified quite a bit with the eyelids at the same time. So that is the next thing I'm going to tackle, is being able to set the eyelid level along with setting an emotion so that we can have different combinations of expressing, you know, variations of emotions. And I said there's like 2 things left to do with the faces. The last one, which I'll leave probably beyond this session, is automatically setting the attention of the face so that the eyes look at things that are interesting. And I want to do it with an algorithm that just naturally picks things, or not naturally, but automatically picks things to look at based on some setting. Never. Let me go back to my work screen so I don't scare you off. So I want to set this algorithm up so that we'll automatically look at things, and I won't have to always be authoring what the character should be looking at from moment to moment, because it is actually kind of tricky to create, not tricky, but time consuming to create natural seeming changes in what the character pays attention to, particularly in an interactive environment. So if the player goes off onto the other side of the room and there's something that's pretty interesting on the other side of the room, they should at least give it a glance. So if they could be staring at the person who's talking while they're talking, but if they walk real close to some spikes, then I want those spikes to at least make them glance over it briefly. So I've got like an algorithm for that, but I'm not going to get into that into this session probably, except maybe the very beginning of it. The start of it will be me just setting this eyelid leveling thing so we can have more varied emotions. Cicada, how you doing? It's Friday. Friday night. Well, I'm telling you, that's one of the benefits of you showing up here, is I'll tell you what day of the week it is. The other thing I recommend is if you don't have to go to work in the morning, coffee in the evening is great. Alright, let's see what we got. I think before I write out a design, I want to just play with the settings in the inspector to start. So let's hack something in for that. I mean, that sounds potentially hilarious. Just seeing, like, maybe there's an on-screen character and it's just watching the ping pong go back and forth. I mean, that sounds... Everything in VR like that, you get so much... I'm talking out of my ass a little bit, but, you know, from my experimenting, you get so much reward for the player for those little touches. I'm going to do some experiments here. Let me see what these things look like. Let's take off maximize. Okay. Visine. Let's close your mouth. Start with neutral. That's the other thing I might have to remember, is that if the lids are more closed, then the range of Y movement should be constrained as well. But before I do that, that is super closed. So let's do, there we go, that looks a little better. Okay, so that's a pretty good board. I think I'll start snapshotting some of these. That's still pretty good for board. In fact, that might be a better choice as a starting point for the lids being closed or lowered or squinting. Yeah. Maybe 0.5, 0.75. That's sort of the normal amount of being closed. All right, then let's do the freaky open thing. There we go. It feels like, to keep it simple, I could do this with 3 different levels for each one. All the way open, which is intense. 0.75, which looks pretty normal, and then 50%, which is still pretty natural. I wouldn't have to write that extra code to constrain the irises to be lower. Yeah, okay. Let's do some of the other emotions. I'm trying on that point, because it's so abstract until you get like something like that up there. You've just got all these tiny little characters. To get some emotion and drama back into the game, you need something to hold on to. Z! I'm playing with faces. I feel like all of the ones where it's like lid's kind of down, they're all pretty close to the same kind of emotion. Okay. But then you come up and then they've got a little more oomph to them. Yeah, if I had a 3D model, there's actually quite a lot of variety you can get just by blending between. Well, the eyebrows are part of 2D art, so it's not like a 3D model. I'm not doing any stretching on it. There's 10 different emotions. No, it's 11 different emotions, and each emotion's got fixed 2D art. But then the irises and the lids move as well. But yeah, with 3D models, like, you can blend between 6 different emotions and just take a couple of those emotions at a time, and you can get everything. The trouble is, I just don't like 3D art that much. I wanted to make it look a little more like not easily. It would complicate my workflow to produce the art to do that. So I can change between these 11 emotions, and then that gives me, you know, the face, everything except the eyelids and the irises, and then the bottom half of the face can be overridden with a speaking animation or vising, so that, you know, you won't see the emotion as well while the person's talking, but the top half of their face will show it. And when the face is resting, then the bottom half goes along with the emotion. So it's a compromise between, you know, being able to express a lot of different things and having a practical workflow for creating the art. So yeah, I think it's gonna be like 0.5, 0.75, 1. I'll finish just kind of walking through these just to see if anything stands out. Yeah, let's do the extreme versions. What kind of texture art are you doing? Just curious. Let me see what these all look like just with our eyes closed, because some of these are good. Like thinking with your eyes closed are good. Oh, that's cool. So is it like one of those deals where you've got like a 3D model and, you know, a texture on it, and you paint like directly on the model, and then you come up with a texture and a UV map out of it? I kind of wonder if I've got that. Don't make me sign in. That's cool. Let me see if I've got it in my suite. Yeah, substance painter. Substance abuse. Nah, not tonight. Just substance painter. I don't think I have it with my particular suite. No, I'm jealous. Anyways, it looks cool. And I've definitely had some moments where I realized I was trying really way too hard to do things with the crummy UV mapping that I had, and I should be maybe authoring some textures or getting someone to do it. So yeah, looks neat. Okay, let's see. I think there is a benefit to also having an eyes all the way closed setting for all of these. Oh, like with the normal mapping and the bump mapping and all that. Right, right. Well, in VR, when you've got normal mapping, does the hardware do stereoscopic normal, like renderings of left eye and right eye normal maps, or does it just kind of do the same thing for both sides? Okay. But why is it worse in VR than it would be on a flat screen? Maybe maybe because I don't know why. I don't know why. Let's see. Let's go check out another one. Very cool. All right. So I think I know what I need to know. I was expecting that maybe I would be referencing all the screenshots I just created and making decisions based on it, but I think I've got enough. 0.75. So let's go out of here and start designing. My requirements. Can specify closed, low. Yeah, I don't know what the terms are yet. Normal, wide. Let's see. Closed, squint, normal, wide. Eyelids. Kinda. I'm pretty sure I want to not have like a numerical value, but just use like 4 values. I'll just make it simpler when I'm authoring. Let's see. Closed equals 0%, open, squint equals 50, normal equals 75, wide equals 100. Specified either explicitly, not explicitly, specified either, let's do it one at a time, specifiable by calling base controller set lid amount, something like that, or speech say. Okay, so number 1 solution for this. Append to emotion constants. Happy, squint, happy, happy wide, happy closed. Okay. Allows for also having aliases that mean the same thing. Like desperate equals afraid wide. I kind of like that because I don't want to have the task of coming up with a name of an emotion for every possible combination of these. Like I don't want to have like bemused, happy, ecstatic, all that. It's just too hard to keep track of. But occasionally I would like to do this thing where I just say, okay, desperate is a combination of being afraid with your eyes all the way open, or bored equals neutral squint. I think I like that. I already have like the base method for just setting the lid amount. Okay, so then number 2, track separate from emotion. Has 2 params to say, one for emotion and another for eyes open amount. Yeah, it's gonna be number 1. I like number 1. All right, get rid of that. Okay, so that means that I'll need a different name for the emotion that is set for the face. Let's call that base emotion. Okay, face controller. Oops. Emotion, base emotion, and then there'll be emotion. All right, it's feeling so clear now that I don't want to keep writing a design. It's just time to get coding. Okay, so faces, let's do some constants for the lids. Maybe you can call it lid level. I suppose I can. I could do this. I could do closed equals 0. Squint equals 50. You can't do float enum, so I'll just do int. Normal equals 75. Wide equals 100. Okay. Throw a unspecified in there. And wait till I need it, wait till I need it, wait till I need it. Okay, that's that. And then we can do base emotions. This is actually being used, huh? Okay, I want to keep these the same. I'll just do this just to make sure I keep them the same. Let's just go ahead and do this. Because they are actually corresponding to positions inside of a bitmap. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm serializing with that yet, but I might in the future. And that you're right, it would break, but it will definitely break the code which relies upon this to set a position inside of a bitmap to pull the animation frame from. Who is using this? Let me see. Who is using count on this? Motion count. All right, let's call this base count. Okay. So here's something I don't know about enums. Suppose that I put another constant in here, neutral, neutral closed. Is it guaranteed to assign a unique value? Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. All right, then let's take these out. Put neutral closed. neutral squint, neutral wide. I do not know why this room is getting so hot. It might be a little bit noisy for a little bit. Let's just do all of these at once. Okay, I got 1, 2. Yeah. All right, I'm thinking better of the way I started out doing this. Let me redo it a little bit. We'll go ahead and drop that like so. Let's say equals. Maybe like that is better. Okay. The data entry portion of my work happening right now. Very exciting. This. Since I've got everything like this, let's just go ahead and do all right. Oh no. There. Just to remind myself why I did all this crazy and explicit setting of constant values. Okay, so that seems fine. So then when I go back to the face controller, I'll leave these for the moment. Base emotion. I'm just looking at each of these and I gotta set the values too. Okay. So 2 2 2 3 3 3. Okay. That was the option number 2 and I rejected it. My reasoning is that I wanted to have an ability to have aliases that would say certain emotions that correspond to these. So like closed squint, like confused wide might be the same thing as an alias that was desperate. Or, you know, happy squint might be whimsical, you know, something like that. Okay. My cleverness. Change it again. I'll make some functions that get the face sheet positioning from these just by dividing by 10. And then it's a little more straightforward. There. Okay, I think let's do just a tiny little util class, emotion util. Let's say hey, DZ. It's going pretty good. Got less and less hard things to do. Like, it's almost a disappointment that I don't have a lot of challenging programming tasks in front of me. But since my goal is not to do challenging things, but to just get the game released, that's a good thing. Okay, so we take the int emotion divided by 10. And then that should truncate it. Okay. Now we say, I won't get bored. Actually, I might get bored. But it doesn't matter because there's this sort of grim, relentless machine of me that keeps going even if I'm bored. How you doing? Yeah. Just tack on machine learning. Let's see, emotion times 10. Let's see, base emotion times 10. Well, I mean, you can't help but get sidetracked if you're making an MMORPG. What a terrible, terrible acronym that everyone decided to use. Okay, int. You can't pronounce any acronym you can't pronounce is a shit acronym. Terrible acronym. The only worst kinds of acronyms are the ones that are acronyms of acronyms. GNU. I wish I could read kanji and kanas, but I cannot. Okay. It's about to say, I wish I could read Latinized versions of Japanese words, but I cannot. See, that's how they get you into the cult, DZ. No, but what? Yeah, which game? Which game? You told me already, but I like forgot. Drop a link. Wait, okay, I'm gonna go look at it in a second, just to reacquaint myself with it. Good level. Let's see, emotion. No, percent. Good. Let's see. lid level count. Oh, that doesn't do anything good. Okay, so I gotta map it. Trying to do too many clever things with constants. Let's just do static. Let's see. Lid level. Emotion node to lid level. And we say lid level closed, lid level squint, lid level normal. Oh, but it goes the opposite way with those other constants. Okay, lid level wide. I guess I don't need to do this. Okay, so here we do return. I can just make this real simple. Motion node to lid level int emotion. What? Somebody's racist against Canadians? Okay, I gotta get a refill on my coffee. I'll be right back. Yeah. That can be a thing. All right, let's go check out this game. Oh, I got to reacquaint myself. Oh yeah, that was wonderful graphs. All right, let's. I am afraid all the time to do any kind of audio with music because of my archival posts to YouTube. Yeah, because they're like you get copyright claims and strikes and stuff. But let's see. Let's go a little bit larger here. This looks awesome. Oh, wait a bit. I think I know something about this. This had a Kickstarter on it, right? DZ? Okay, okay, yeah. I think I watched the video that you sent me earlier where a guy was saying this is an example of the type of game that really should be benefiting from the Kickstarter model, but because Kickstarter got kind of saturated with flaky people, it's harder to get it going. But obviously there's a lot of work that went into it to get it even this far. I'm gonna watch one more, but no audio. I said no audio. I just do not want to deal friggin' YouTube and then copyright claims. Well, do they need any Fox sidekicks? Should get your little animated fox in there too. So what's it like working with this other team? How do you figure out who's going to work on stuff? Do you have like a issue tracker, or do you talk on Discord, or? Sorry, I'm just peppering you with questions. I like that view. Yeah. Yeah. I remember the first time I did like hey, everybody want to join my open source game? And it was like that for a while. I was sort of the brain guy, and then like people would come and go. And then it just took a while to figure out who was going to stick. And there were some people that actually did some nice work, but they just didn't do much, and they didn't stick around for long. And it was kind of like a wash as far as the time it took to explain how to develop on the game and to kind of get into a flow with them where they could do something. Then they actually do something, and then they go away. And not to complain, but that's very typical. And you know, if you're not hiring people for money, it's like you can't complain at all. Just hope everybody gets something out of it to make it worthwhile. Anyways, very cool. Yeah, it looks like a worthy project. All right, now let's get back to this. Get back to this face animation business. Other stuff. Okay, so you get the lid level, get the motion number to, okay, lid level, okay, that goes with that. These should be public. Okay, so then back to the face controller. I wish there were some better options for starting a project, keeping some record of like shares in the project for all the work people do, and then just saying there's no money moving around until we actually make money, you know, that kind of thing. Because maybe there are some, but there's so many projects where it's just not worth figuring out money stuff until you've actually got some traction, until you see some sales. So there should just be some simplified ways to say, like, okay, we're not going to hassle around too much here. It's going to be real quick and simple. Get this project going. If we get to a point where we're actually making money with it, then everyone gets paid in accordance with what we tracked as your contributions earlier. Like, I looked into like variants of bitcoins and blockchain schemes. They seemed a little complicated for that. But that's something I wish somebody else would invent and I could just use it. Royalty tracking sucks too. I've set up royalty contracts with people, and then like the project peters out, but you still have like some sort of obligation to keep on sending royalty reports to people. People's addresses change, and or their PayPal account stops working. It's just like you owe them like $17, and it's just not even worth the hassle to send off some piddly little bit of money to somebody. You know, that's... Yeah, I just kind of wish there was some nice, simple solutions for that. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've got a thing. Am I bothering me? Because I keep on having the same idea that I just told you about. Maybe I already took it out. Yeah. So this is just to remind me whenever I start thinking along these lines, just stop. Contract help is a better way. So I've got like a little small chest of money. I can pay a little bit to contractors, and it's just clean, simple. And then, you know, you don't have to worry about like royalty reports and stuff later on, particularly if the project piddles out or is just trickling in income, you know. All right, let's get this done. There's not too much work to do here. So it's going to be... Well, that is the best model of all. Exploitation. That is the absolute best way to go. Or do it this way. Float. Yeah, float, loop level. Divided by 100F. There we go. Maybe I just get rid of this one. Is anybody calling it? I don't think anybody is. Let me just get rid of it. I can put it back if I need it. But I give you free information too. I told you what day of the week it is, and you didn't know. You had that for completely for free. You can ask me again too anytime you want. Okay. I am an expert on what day of the week it is. Let's see. Set emotion. Let's just set both of them at the same time whenever the emotion gets set. So emotion will get set. Not just both of them. It'll also be base emotion equals emotion util. Let's open amount equals emotion util. Oh. So then, if I go to face sheet, let's just change these. Emotion, pause. Or index, that's better. Stop it. There we go. Okay. Actually, I think I had it right the first time. Let's do that. Okay. So I think that converts it like from 41 to 40, that kind of thing. Okay, then. Oh. No, I just need that. And then I just need that. Okay. So back to face controller. Disagreeing with myself over what the names of things should be. I don't think I actually need the base emotion here. Let's just set base emotion index. That means I can get rid of this guy. What are you complaining about? No, I'm not done. Okay. So in face player, responsible for the rendering, we want these to change to base emotion index. This is the code that Cicada hates, so I just don't want to stay here very long. All right. Okay, so I've got all that. That also means all these options will be available to me inside of the inspector, so I'll be able to play with that. Don't have real great confidence on these routines here. Maybe I'll just check them, make sure they're doing the right thing. All right, did I miss anything? Speech say, I'll come back to that. Okay. See if that builds. Cool. I give this about a 50% chance of working the first time. No, it didn't work. Okay. So let's see. Oh, because I don't have an on-validate handler. I'm just setting this directly. Okay, that's why. Or at least it's one reason why. Well, I kind of wonder, do I really need an on-validate handler? Because maybe I could just do a property getter, run a little bit of code there. That might just work. I've never done that before. I want to try it. Except I don't. Never mind. Because this is going to go back to being a protected variable. Okay, so let's just throw like a real quick on validate in here. Nice. There's my blank. Cool. should just try out each of these with all my... Come on. There we go. Which line was the fuckaroo? 11. Okay, so I said, let's take the emotion, convert it to an int. But that has to be wrong. Because it should be percent lid level count. And then let's go ahead and stop this. I will need to recompile. I don't like that extra cast there. Let's just do this. This is not even called. Cool. Delete it. All right, try again. Nice. Just checking them all. Oops, it looks like my first mistake here. So irritated closed is doing on the wide one. And what? Okay, so it's probably an issue with the constants. Let's see if it fixes itself on the next one. Sad. Okay, suspicious has probably got a constant problem. Okay. Pretty close. Let's go check out the motion constant, see where I screwed up. Irritated. It looks... Oh, I got these mixed around maybe? No, that looks right. Bizarre. How could so many of those work and then just two don't work? 70, 71, 72, 73. 50, 55. It looks like I'm following the pattern exactly. Close, squint, wide, close, squint, wide. Yeah, what the hell? I wouldn't expect it to sort of work, except for I would expect it to either consistently fail or consistently succeed. All right, time to set breakpoints. So if we go to well, that's what passes for a challenge these days. All right, so if I do irritated closed, motion equals irritated closed, and the value for that is 71. Base of motion index will be 7. Yep. Lid level. Okay, so emotion. Oh, it's not lid level count. I've got these things spaced by 10. That's why. Okay, I got it. So let's just call this something completely different. I think I'm almost done with this, which is nice. Boom. Okay, motion util, the spacing is going to be, let's see. Motion spacing equals 10. I suppose I could put it here. Nah. Nah, don't need it. Don't need it. Okay, so motion util, and this will be a motion spacing. Kind of amazing that it mostly worked. I understand why now, but that was just weird. Alright, let's try this again. Good. I guess I'll jump ahead to the part that was not working before. It's working now. Okay. Back up to the top. Amused. Yeah, I would agree with you, except this is only a debug interface. It'll go away. It will go away. But don't worry. The moment for the mighty Odin will come eventually. I just don't think this is it. So that works. I've only got one more thing to do. Oh, I might already be done with it. Yeah, I think I already am. So if I say... Yeah. Yeah, because it will take the motion here. Then it will time it with the display of the text or the playback of the audio. And it's going to call where is it? Set emotion. There it is. Okay, that's good. Let's do some cleanup, and then that will be the end of a session. Okay, make this go back to private. This is why I don't need Odin yet, because this was not meant to be permanently editable inside of the inspector. Well, you know, part of me says keep going. You know what I might do before I knock off is just a little bit of design on the next part. I don't think it's right to just start implementing quite yet, but okay, let's get rid of this on validate. It is a little bit early. I think you're right about that. Okay, what's the deal? You're saying you can make it private. No, man, I don't do things for so it'll be like a cool challenge or something like that. It's all got to be in the service of the game and getting it released. I don't even need this variable is what it's telling me, but maybe I want to keep it. No, I'm going to do some design. I'm going to do a little bit of design for the next part. It's not used. That's fine. I can take it out for now. If I need it later, I can put it back in. Okay, that should do that. Let's see, I got any to-dos in here? I'll leave that for now. Okay. Save all that. Git commit all that. Oh, I started to work on this already. Let me see what I wrote. Mateo! What's going on, buddy? Let's see. Add. All add scene load. You catching me at the tail end of my stream. But I'm doing good. I feel good. It's Friday. I like Friday. I've got a typical 9 to 5 day job during the week. So it's Friday. It's the start of my weekend. How you doing? Oh, you already said you're doing fine. The camera is down. The camera is down. You mean on the stream? Because I'm seeing a healthy stream on my side. Like I've got a view of what's being broadcast. Let me go check Twitch. No, I'm streaming. I'm streaming. If you're having trouble seeing it, sorry about that. But I can tell you what it is. It's a bunch of code on the screen with me typing. All right. Reload away. Okay. Okay. So. Why don't we just say, is it since? All right, since they must be loaded at just at one time at the start of the level, there'll be a fixed number of attention magnets inside of the level. All right, all right. How you doing on that that project with your friends and workers with architecture? I'd like to say it's mate, but it's just coffee. Because you are the god of mate, even if you changed your handle, you're still the god of mate to me. Okay, so we'll say int attention levels. Yeah, me too. That's my drug of choice. If I had to give up all my other drugs and just do one drug, it would be coffee. Or caffeine, I should say. Coffee makes your brain go fast. But not too fast. It's not like meth or anything like that. You know, it's just get it going. Get your brain going. Okay, so we need something like update attention levels. And this we'll call yeah, me too. At one point I stopped drinking coffee just to make sure I could do it without it being a big deal. And I did it. I've done it more than once. And also to make sure that, like, after I had kind of kicked the addiction, that there wasn't some extra benefit to not drinking coffee that I was missing. Because, like, suppose you find out, okay, I stopped drinking coffee for a little bit, and I have all these creative ideas that I didn't have before, or, you know, I'm enjoying music more, or something like that. But I never found any benefit like that. And I was more happy drinking coffee, and coffee didn't make me feel bad in any way. So, yeah. So I went back to drinking coffee, and I don't see any reason not to. At times I could say don't drink as much. If your heart gets racing really fast, or you start like saying things that aren't quite right, but you're just maybe in too much of a hurry because you got too much caffeine. But for the most part, it's just a really benevolent drug, really, as far as I can tell. Cannot say that about alcohol. Alcohol is, I don't know, alcohol. I like alcohol too, but there's definitely a trade-off to drinking alcohol or not. Let's see. Okay, so update the attention levels. So there's some kind of interaction between the character attention here. I think I probably want to have it call into the attention manager. So maybe it's like this. Maybe it's like update character attention. Since attention only applies to characters, I might as well do it like that. Then I could just pass in character. Have character attention just be like kind of like a pure data class. Keep it simple. Oh yeah, this is like it's a design session. So I'm just writing a little bit of code just to figure out my design. But yeah, it won't, it'll have compilation errors, you're right. So that's why I've got it all in comments. But I probably won't code any of this tonight. I'm just sort of thinking how to lay it out. Okay, so what's the algorithm here? We say for each attention magnet, yeah, I like to think about it in a design way before I write all the code, because I end up not changing the code as much. I end up mostly writing the code one way the first time, and it takes less work. Yeah, exactly. If in range of character add Goss to attention level magnet. That's the gist of it. I need something to reduce attention levels. So I need some way to say the character is looking at one of the magnets. I can combine it. So I could say transform get attention target we find magnet with highest attention level. Subtract Gauss for that magnet losing attention. I think for this to work, I need to keep calling this at some regular interval. So maybe I should have the characters in here too. Yeah, just put them all in one place. Do an explicit update. I like using these explicit updates instead of regular updates. It's just a naming convention I use. They work exactly the same as an update, except that Unity doesn't call them. The main update loop of my code calls them. So if I do that, then I've got control over the order things are called in, and it's a lot easier to figure out if something comes up that needs a specific order of execution. So in here we just say at a regular interval, e.g. 1/10 of a second, call update attention levels for each character. Okay. And then you need some way to do like sort of one-time bumps. Okay, let's say void bump attention, and we can do character magnet as Gauss for that character magnet combo. Let's do bump character attention. And there's bump attention for all the characters. The only thing is These magnets as a parameter to pass in is kind of weird. I need maybe like a, let's see, like an ID, or just use the name of the attention magnet, or use the name of the game object that the attention magnet is attached to. So for that, we don't need this whole thing. Well, yeah, anyways, yeah, we'll do like a string name, attention magnet, and then like whatever convenience vars should go in here, just to make it so I don't have to do calls to get component and all that. Why the spinny? All I'm doing is typing text. Oh, don't you dare crash on me. Oh, god damn it. Oh, that would piss me off if it crashed. It didn't crash. I just stopped the debugger. I don't know what you're up to. Alright, so these are just like whatever convenience vars. Okay. Then let's see, this is going to be public. This is going to be public. It's going to be private. This will be public. Need something to bump with, so those will be public. Public. Let's see. Amount and duration. Be able to look up these magnets by name. All right. So my level controller can find the magnets it cares about here, and then the level controller can say if it wants to override the default attention, attractiveness or level of interest in an object, they can bump it. You can say between this character and this magnet we will bump it by a certain amount for a certain duration. Yeah, this can be fairly ambitious, but it'll be really cool when it works. All right, I'm gonna call it good right here. And Mateo, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to stop the stream here. DZ, if you're still on, thanks for hanging out. Let's see. You know, I don't have to guess. I can just say goodbye to all the people that I see that are on. Okay, here we go. DZ, blah, 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 blah. Everybody else? All right. I'm going to take off. I'll see you around. Have a good weekend. Stopping the stream now.